And just as a reminder to everyone, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. When speaking during the meeting, please come to the podium, state your name and address, and speak loudly and clearly. Thank you. Okay, item number one on our agenda for today is approval of the agenda.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number two is approval of the meeting minutes for March 26, 2024.
Second.
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Item number three, approval of claims, and I'm going to call on Shane Ulrich to give us an overview of that, please.
Yeah, so right now, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Sorry, I almost had to take my shoes off. We have 8 different claims this month. The very first one is reimbursable expense to Goldberg Group Architects for $1,575.62. The next one is for Frederickson for professional services for $23,851. The next one is for Resource Consulting Engineers, and that's for $1,550. The next one is for Hausman Construction for $254,384.31. The next one is for Hausman for a negative $157,724.37. If you play with those numbers, it's what their pay request 32 is for $96,000. The difference from the positive to the negative gets you back to the $96,000 for their pay request. Do you want, Chairman, do you want me to pull that pay request out and spend time walking through it for everybody?
Maybe I have no questions on it, but I don't know about either of you gentlemen, if you'd like him to do that.
I don't have any questions.
I don't either, Shane.
All right. Baker Group, there's a bill for $300, and was for attorneys. So that's our people in the office, roughly 4 hours, pulling documents for attorneys and getting that all put together. And then Baker Group again for $34,000. As everybody will remember, that's what our monthly cost is. And the final one is to Andrew Bodiger from KCAU, a refund for his FOIA request in the amount of $25. Our grand sum total of expenses or bills is $157,961.56. 157,961.56. Any questions?
I have none. I move that we approve the claim.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Thank you. Item number 4 on the agenda is a financial report from Dennis Butler. I would call Mr. Butler for that report, please.
Okay, I handed out to everybody. The claims you just approved today are already on here, so we got actual balances here. So on taxable bonds, we have $4,308,998.45. There's no claims were drawn against that this time today. The ARPA fund, we had $471 left. We spent $132. We got $338,000 left. Miscellaneous revenues, we had $184. We got $22,832 in interest. We spent $25,726. We're down to $181,678. Debt service has an effect till next month. Justice Center is $1,003,323. We did $873 interest, $874. I'm going to round it up. And this month we will be moving $200,000 more into that fund. We'll write a check next week. That's it.
Okay, any questions, gentlemen? No. Thank you, Mr. Butler. All right, item number 5 on the agenda is information and update on our time capsule. And when we last met, we talked about the fact that we had the document that we had introduced into the record that covered 3 examples of safes that we could purchase with a range of costs on those, and a list of things that have been put in the new time capsule for the county courthouse. And so I'd like to have us have a little conversation about this so we can get this moving forward. Maybe if we could start to look at the three safes that might be potential time capsules. I don't know if you've had a chance to look that over, or if there's any questions on it.
Mr. Chairman?
Sure.
I think one of the things that everybody should talk about as a group, item number 11 up on the screen, which is the gold groundbreaking shovel. If you're putting that in a safe, you have to go with a different size safe. So I think everybody's recommendation was to go with the smaller safe. So I think that basically would limit you from putting the groundbreaking shovel in the safe. So I think that's probably your first point you want to take is, are you putting the safe in there or are you not? I mean, the groundbreaking shovel or not? Because if you're putting the groundbreaking shovel in there, you're gonna have to pick a safe that'll hold that.
I'd put the gold groundbreaking shovel at the front door as you come in the lobby area. Oftentimes it's
Maybe
displayed.
we could have a cabinet built that would be somewhere in the hallway there.
Because you're looking pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, you're looking at,
So I don't think this one,
No, none of the examples that you have would hold a shovel. No.
but, well, I'd like to just draw a line through that, Mr. Wick. So on this, we will no longer have the groundbreaking shovel.
And at some point, we can have a discussion about having a cabinet built that it would be displayed in. Okay, obviously, I think one of the first things we need to talk about is the size of the, if we're going to use the safe, the size of the safe. And again, I believe that we do have all exterior and interior dimensions on them. For example, on the first one that's in our document that we introduced last meeting was $455, and the interior dimensions of that is 14.8 inches wide, 11.9 inches deep, and 19.6 inches high. Again, I don't know what your thoughts are. Do you want to look at putting together a list of what we want to put in the safe, and then decide which safe we want to look at, whatever you gentlemen would like to talk about?
I mean, the list you got going here, I think is great. I'm guessing it's pretty common for a lot of these types of things. But a lot of it's not very big. You know, a lot of it's kind of, you know, paper, documents, or photos, that kind of stuff. I kind of like the mid-proof set. I think that's kind of cool. So I don't know. I don't know that we would need one really big, especially if the shovel's not gonna be part of it. It's like this one on the back is the cheapest and kind of the same size. That's a Century safe, so it's gonna be pretty common to try to bust into that thing down the road. But otherwise, I'm fine with everything that you've kind of listed out here, and it's all smaller stuff. It's not gonna take a lot of space, so we may not need anything very big. That last
I
one's,
would agree with Mark on that.
I'm sorry.
I would agree with Mark's comments.
Okay, on the one for $177.11.
says it's fire and water safe, so I mean, that should be
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Do you need a motion on
I
that?
guess we're just gonna ask if someone would like.
There's no, it's just information.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so we
Okay.
were.
So next meeting, we'll put it on for action.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
But then, let's go to our list on the face of your document, the list of items that could potentially be in
Yep.
that item, and kind of just run down through the list. Item number one is, the authority time capsule resolution, could be in there. Item number two, letter to the finder or persons opening the capsule. I think that might be an interesting, item to have in there, I would certainly consider. Copy of election ballot would have potential, photos, Woodbury County Authority, a photo of the authority members, current photo of Board of Supervisors, LEC project team, the authority, Baker Group, BGA, Building Services, and the Sheriff's Office.
Mr. Chairman,
Sir?
I would like to, when you go to the project team, I would like to include the courts and the district attorney's office, since they're all out there.
Yep.
I mean, I think that's a reasonable request there.
That's what the letter F is for.
What?
That's what the letter F is for.
Oh,
You filled in the blank.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah, very good, Shane. I'm impressed.
Some kind of documentation, maybe photos or whatever from the groundbreaking ceremony, and I'm sure we will have an opening ceremony and some photos from that. Photos or list of current government officials could be potential.
You know, another one for on that E that you could do is photos of current county buildings. 'Cause a lot of them could change like that, you know,
Excellent.
probably not the courthouse, but like
Yep.
Jasper Hoy, emergency services, that kind of stuff. A lot could change, you know,
Yep.
like time building, so.
A photo of the existing law enforcement
Yeah.
center, we have a before and after.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go, yeah. Photos are always fun.
They are.
Good idea, very good idea, yes. All right, then, information on the building, building square footage, some information on yards of concrete, miles of electrical wiring, miles of data wiring, number of workers on site, and the number of days to complete. Could all be there, maybe could be some additional items there that we would want to add to it also. But, so I just thought we would walk through this today and then we could come back to the meeting, or our next meeting and potentially have action.
Sure.
Item number 6, newspaper article, article of the grand opening, so, whatever coverage we would have there. Item number 7 would be, the authority seal, and, we maybe even could talk to Chair into making an actual, seal on a CNC machine that we could put in there, so,
One of the things I'd like to suggest, to get even with him for some things he's done today, is last time the building services director ran out to like Palmer Candies and stuff and got some knickknacks for the thing.
excellent.
Maybe having somebody like, not picking on Kenny, he did that last time, maybe somebody else could take that task on and run out to local businesses.
Sure.
So along those same lines, but also back to item C, under number 4, is, and this will be tougher to do, but maybe you could get a photo, you know, I talked about the number of workers also on item 5E, but we've got subcontractors from right here in Woodbury County that you could recognize also that worked on the jail, whether it was a group of the guys from, let's say, you throw a Suter out there, Thompson Electric, you know, a group of them out in front of the jail, or, you know, maybe a business card or some sort of print or something from those companies, and then you could kind of recognize those local businesses that were subs on the project, and hopefully a lot of them are still here in the future. I think a picture would be cool of the guys, because you never know down the road, you can say, yeah, my dad or grandpa or whatever was out there, but.
I think that's an excellent idea.
I think with that, Ron, it'd be nice to reach out to building trades, because they had people that were out there, as well as the Iron Workers Union, local people that were out there. So it might be good for them to reach out to Jose or somebody like that to get the names of the iron workers that were out there, and have Jose and maybe those guys come as part of the picture as well.
Excellent idea.
Should we write that down?
Good idea. On this list that we're looking at, item number 8, Sheriff's Office Challenge Coin. Item number 9, list of current day prices might be interesting. I saw when I drove by the station this morning when I left the house, that gas is up 20 cents a gallon today, so
Yes.
that might be interesting. But yeah, we could do some different items like gas and milk and postage and that sort of thing.
Much higher price than Des Moines.
Really?
About 37 cents
Oh, really?
higher.
Oh, is that right?
It was 40 when I left, difference.
Wow,
I could get it for $291 and it was,
Is that right? Nice.
I haven't realized that. I usually fill up in the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, good, good.
Those are great ideas though.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, and then the last item, item number 10 of 2024 US Mint Proof Claim Set. So, I don't know if there's any other conversation we can have here today, but if we could, yes, sir. Would you step to the mic, please?
Yes, Ken Schmidt, Early Services Director. I'd like the authority to think about one thing. Are you going to do a resolution for this time capsule? A formal resolution?
that was
one
number
on
one.
our list, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if you are at one request, as part of that resolution, you identify where this time capsule is going to be located.
Sure.
So in 40, 50 years, someone looking for this thing doesn't have to scour the entire building. They'll know exactly where it's at. And as part of that, we're going to have to identify or proclamate it's going to be here, X.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, good idea. And I would also like to mention that Commissioner Moore has volunteered that if it's within 50 to 60 years, he will guide the people to where the capsules are.
You laugh.
It's very nice of you.
It could happen. My mother turned 100 on the 4th of April, so
Wow.
it could happen.
Congratulations.
Yeah. All right, any other conversation on that? But please, if you add anything to the list, we can review that again at the next meeting and possibly move forward on action with it.
Well, I'll make sure it's on for action next time.
Yeah. And I don't know if we'd have the instruments to play it, but we could also put a video.
Yeah, I was thinking about that also, whether or not, and whether or not it would be digital.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have to worry about tape maintaining a live one. All right, very good, thank you. Okay, item number 6 on our agenda today is discussion and action on property insurance coverage for the new LEC. And I would ask Agent Steve Schultz to please step to the microphone and we'll begin the discussion.
Melissa Thomas.
Yes, Melissa Thomas, I'm sorry.
Okay, ask you to be entered into the record first and then pass it on. So we have to ask for these items to be entered into the record, then I can pass them on.
I have one that we have to get in. I make a motion that we enter this into the record as an official document.
Second?
Here, I have one. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Would you pass this to Mr. Butler? And for everybody that can still see the screen, I will try to have it enlarged on the screen as well.
Okay, all right, Shane, is it up there? So I'll kind of turn it over to you if you can give us just a little bit of an overview and then we'll probably have some questions for you.
Sure. Steve Schultz, Arthur J. Gallagher Company, here in Sioux City, Iowa. Our office marketed the property insurance for the new law enforcement center. What we did here is we went out to roughly 15 different property insurance carriers. Through that process, we ended up getting back a total of 5 quotes. The other 10 plus carriers declined for various reasons. The first page of the proposal after it says premium summary, on the bottom is page 3. You'll see 4 quotes from 4 different insurance carriers: Arch Insurance, ICAP, or the Iowa County's Insurance Program, Federal Insurance Company, which also goes by Chubb Insurance, and Star Insurance Company. We bolded the Federal Insurance Company or Chubb quote because that would be the recommended proposal to go with. With a total premium of $177,455.28. You'll notice that a part of that, if you want to flip maybe one more page, there's a breakdown of the 4 quotes. The Chubb quote actually was $146,000, $146,254. The additional $31,000 that was purchased was to buy down a original wind and hail deductible was $1 million. The additional $31,000 reduced the wind and hail deductible down to $250,000, which is line item out. Building value of roughly $73+ million. And all other perils deductible $100,000. So, for example, if there was a fire, the deductible would be $100,000. If there was a tornado, the deductible would be roughly $250,000. There's a sublimit of coverage within that policy for $5 million for earthquake and $1 million for flood. There is a list of, next page, listing all 15 carriers that were approached. Let me see the complete list of them there. Total premiums range from $226,000 was the highest premium of the four. Of the primary would have been Chubb's would have been the least amount at $146, and then with the add-on of $177. Any questions?
No, but I would just comment to the other commissioners. We provided Mr. Schultz with a very detailed description of the building with regard to the number of square footage. For example, it's in the 2 levels for the jail, the number of square footage is on the main level, the walkout square footage for the county attorney's area. So he did a really good job of breaking that down and developing the cost that we have here at 73, or not cost, but coverage at 73,354. And the other thing that we actually did from there was we took the actual cost of the building and took out parts of that cost that would not apply. You wouldn't be redesigning the building if you had a total loss. The building would go back up the way it's currently built, so you wouldn't have that cost in. We went through a pretty detailed process, moving costs out from our actual total cost of building the building right now, and came right back, almost to the dollar.
Probably within 0.5% or less.
Yeah, it was very, very.
Cost of land, soft costs that wouldn't recreate themselves.
And then the other thing I guess that I would mention is we're talking about building coverage here. We're not talking about any contents coverage. There are entities in the building that will be leasing space that have contents in there, but the authority will have no contents in there. So we're not talking about contents coverage there, so.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Would like to point out to everybody, or maybe you can, there was a number of meetings on this. I think you had at least 3. Stephen Bliss did a great job coming over to our office, but we also met with Steve out to the site and took people around for tours so they actually saw what they were insuring.
Potentially sure.
Yeah, we gave every carrier the option to inspect.
Sure.
To see everything with their own eyes, and a few took us up on that opportunity.
Okay.
So, yes.
Is this a new policy that we haven't had before? Or is this an updated policy? The reason I'm asking, who pays for the $177,000? Where do we get the money? Out of curiosity.
The county would, by lease, this is one of the things the county has to pay for.
Should the county approve this insurance too? Because they're paying the bill. So this will be on the board agenda then also?
Yes, it will. But
Okay.
we have to get the authority to say which number they recommend, and then it has to be taken to the county for approval.
Then my next question would be to Melissa, do we have this budget in our new budget? Or where's this money coming from?
I do not believe we have a budget.
Well, then, to Mark, this is a new expense, we don't even have budgeted. I'm just telling you, we're getting ourselves buried in here. We gotta pay it, I agree. But this is a cost we don't even have budgeted in our budgets.
But Dennis, where is your existing insurance now with the current facility?
It's probably out of our insurance fund, I'm assuming.
The
Won't
current,
you have some of that?
Not, but we didn't budget any of this money for next year. or this year.
We
We
have,
paid a
So there's gonna be an overlap,
Yes.
is that what you're saying?
Yeah, which we don't have the money, we're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna get that money too.
so I understand, I think we would be able to reduce the coverage of the old LEC, and hopefully that will counter the amount for the new.
Yeah, a direction, I mean, we can remove coverage on one facility, add another,
But you're insuring a whole different building here, that building over there, maybe we're 20 million, we're good at insuring a building 60 million.
It's a whole different policy.
but it is a new policy though.
Yeah, it's a different policy.
That we don't have budgeted. The old policy, they're gonna cover this policy at all. They'll cover a portion.
That's correct.
Okay, I'm just making Mark aware of this, to relay back to the board that we don't have money budgeted. Yeah. You know, the money runs thin, that's all I'm saying. But, okay, the county pays for it, the board's gotta approve it, we gotta figure out where the money's coming from. That's the problem. Okay, that's all I got.
All right, thank you.
So how are the insureds listed on the policy?
On this policy here, it's intended specifically for the building owner. It's gonna be the authority and the authority only. Woodbury County has a separate policy that will cover the contents, the operations, as it being the, building operator. So this policy here will be just in Woodbury County Authority Law Enforcement Center only.
We own the building until the bonds are paid out, so the policy will be in our name.
I just didn't know if it would be a co-insured type
No,
situation, authority only.
I do not see a reason for that, but this you
Because
have
it's-
some information you like.
No, no, it's just purely a
The
question.
authority, yeah, the authority is the owner of the building until the bonds are paid off.
The county doesn't have partial ownership at year 15, not till, by the lease, not till the building's paid off.
Yeah, I can see at some point in the future where Woodbury County potentially could be added to this property policy, either in some fashion as an additional insured or loss paying with our financial interest over periods of bond payments. But at this point, you typically look up and just see the building owner and the building owner only.
Yeah, and I'll look back at the terms of the lease that were previously negotiated between the two parties, but I don't believe it calls for the county to be an additional insured.
Okay.
But if it did, that would not, if you could add it.
Yeah,
if
as
it
an
was
AI,
just
but not a
right.
co-insured.
Correct.
Yeah.
That won't be
So I'll look
a
back at
co-insured,
that.
but it could be an additional.
Yeah.
additional
I'll look back at that, make sure.
Are there any breaks in the insurance policy premiums between the building coverage and the personal property? In other words, if the county wanted to have personal property coverage, would it be, well, you probably don't want to commingle the insurance.
No,
Yeah, so in this case, not
Steve,
really.
would it not be the same situation? I know we're talking about two totally different deals, but if you own the rental property and I rented the rental property from you, I would carry a renter's policy that would cover my contents and my liability, and you would carry a policy that would carry the building or cover the building and your liability.
Okay.
Fair statement, Steve?
Correct, and in this case, the county and the authority actually are gonna have different insurance companies. So there'd be no attachment.
And again, I would ask Jody to
Yep,
go back
looking at it
through
right now.
all pieces of that and get something back to us as soon as you can, if you would, please.
Great.
So again, we're looking at a premium of how much?
Annually, from say 24 to 25, $177,455.28.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your work on this too. Appreciate it.
I would move approval of the federal insurance company for that amount.
I would second that. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, it does not. Steve, I'm gonna call you back to the microphone. Mr. Butler over here had a question. If, at whatever date that we take control of the building and put the policy in place, what will be the payment process on a premium for it, please? I mean, will it be something that will pay part of it and then you'll bill for the balance for the year, or how do you see that happening?
I don't have it, typically, I don't have 100% answer. I know a portion that's gonna be due up front. The deductible buy-down period of the 31,000, I know that's paid in full. But the larger portion of it, the 146, that might be on installments of quarterly or.
If you could
Okay,
check on
I'll
that for me,
confirm
and
that.
let me know.
I don't know that right today.
Yeah,
Then is there a fee if you do it quarterly? 'Cause I know when I do insurance, I do a quarterly, I have a fee on it.
There'll be no like installments or any like, you know, $5 or $10 percentage.
Okay.
That, the amount will change for that, if indeed that's the case.
okay.
And I think in the name, Ron, we want to add a center between enforcement authority, Woodbury County Law Enforcement Center Authority. We have the name.
Right there.
Well, the page and quotes, Ron.
So you're down here.
Yep, page 3.
There's-
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, yes. Yep. Very good. All right, thank you. We go to item number 7 on our agenda now. It is discussion and action on PCOs 108, 123R1, 125R, 126, and 127R. And I will call on Shane Albrecht. We'll take those one at a time and start with 108, please.
Mr. Chairman, we've reached the time
Time
on our closed session, so I'm sorry.
Can we just continue on these and do a couple of these change orders? Or not?
Because we have a set time for our
Yeah, we have
closed session,
set time for closed session.
so we
At
can.
2:30, I didn't realize we were that close. So, I'll make a motion, we go into closed session.
You need a motion?
I made a motion.
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Nope, roll call.
Roll call, I'm sorry, Karen.
Blake,
Yes.
Moore,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
So